In this video, we're going to talk about my 7 culture shocks of dating a German. I'm Latina, she's German, and there was definitely some culture shocks when we first started dating. So stick around if you want to know which ones. Hey, I'm Jen.
And I'm Yvonne.
From simplegermany.com, where we help expats settle into life in Germany more smoothly. So, shock number 1, I would say. Let's see what I have on my list. Oh yeah, the directness. You are so brutally honest, I would say. By you, I mean not you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I mean like Germans in general. So I have this example that we were in a farewell party from, she's a Spanish friend and she was moving to Ireland. We were at a farewell party, and as we were saying our goodbye, she was like, okay, you're going to come and visit, like, we'll see you in Dublin, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, of course. Yvonne's response, like super serious, was?
No.
And I was like, I kicked her under the table. I'm like, what do you mean no? Like, we're going to visit. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, for this year, we already planned all our vacation days. We already have everything booked. We don't have any more free days that we can take, and maybe next year we can talk about it again.
I mean, why should I say yes if I already know it's not gonna happen?
Out of politeness.
But then I'm giving, first of all, false hopes, and I'm breaking my own word, and my word means everything.
Yeah, so that's which is a fair point, totally understandable, right? But in Latin America, or at least in Guatemala, we say yes to everything.
Yeah, you double, triple book in one night.
Yeah, that's true. You might have 3 events in the evening and you might not go to any, or you might just go to one.
How rude.
I know.
So me as a German, if someone says he's going to come for the evening, I buy the food, I prepare the food, and then you don't show up, that's the worst thing you can do.
Okay, but that's different, right? Like, okay, that's if you're inviting one person, but to parties and these events, right? And also if someone invites you to their country, you say yes. Will you ever go? Maybe. Are you still in touch with the person when you get there? Maybe, but no. You still say yes.
But, I mean, I get your point. However, if I say maybe, it is a maybe, and everyone can handle that. If I say no, they might be offended, but then if they can't handle that, it wasn't a first good friend to begin with.
So now I'm used to it. I'm used to this openness.
And if I say yes, you really know that I mean it, and it will gonna happen. And it will gonna happen. It will happen.
It will happen. So now I'm used to this directness, and actually I appreciate it because it's an honest thing. And Germans, you know, if it's a no, it's a no. They have no problem saying no to your face and without giving an explanation. They just say no. I just don't feel like it. And you have to deal with it. Yeah, so that was shock number 1. But now it's better. Now I think I'm also quite direct. Not as direct as you.
You're very Germanized.
But more indirect. Okay, thing number 2 on my list is like the independence that is in relationships. Again, I'm putting this from a Latin American perspective, right? Like, we are very clingy to each other. And we're like very jealous, I would say. Like, there's no way that you would allow your significant other to go to a party alone, or if you're at a party, for that person to talk to other people, or like to another person that they might be attracted to. And in Germany, that's like not the case at all.
Yeah, that sounds like I'm being captivated by someone.
Right? And this is how like Latin American love is supposed to be, right? Like supposed to, yeah.
Oh no. Like if you, whatever, you know, in your first dates, or if you're on online portals looking, you know, scouting possible interests. Yeah. One of the biggest things you always see, you know, independence. My independence is the most important thing. And that's being lived. That's being lived for a night out. For doing your own hobby, for going on vacation with your best friend instead of your significant other, in any part of life.
Yeah, and actually I've had like situations where I meet people at like a party or a bar, and they're with their friends and they're getting pretty drunk, and like, I don't know, it comes to conversations. Oh yeah, my girlfriend, she's also either at another party or she's at home or she's working. And does she know you're here? Yeah, totally. She might come and pick me up later, actually. Yeah. How cool is that? From Latin America, you know, passionate perspective, that wouldn't happen. But that's a cool thing, I find it. Okay, so another like culture shock from a Latin American perspective is the fact that you can sleep, like you can take a girlfriend or boyfriend home and you can sleep in the same room in your parents' home. Like, that is like a what? That for me was very shocking, right? Because like, first of all, sex is taboo in Latin America. And second of all, there's no way. So why would the person sleep over, right? And if they do, they would sleep on the couch.
Okay, so first of all, we also have to say here, this might not be so okay in every German family.
But like the majority, I would
say the majority, but let's not say in every German family. Yeah, we've had the topic of nudity before, and also I know Germans who are not that comfortable with nudity and didn't grow up as liberal as I did, maybe. Yeah. Or most of Germans did, or whatever. Or friends that weren't in a sports team and didn't grow up with, because in a sports team you experience a lot of nudity. So let's just generalize. It's not all Germans, but a big chunk.
Yeah, but it's
And second of all, why is your assumption that just because you sleep in the same room, the same bed, that you have to have sex?
Yeah, that is the thing. I don't know. It's how I grew up, I guess. Yeah. So that I find it cool as well to have that trust, right? And also, like, why is it not okay? Yeah, I don't know. But it's just, again, a cultural thing, right? Oh my God. And one of my favorite things is number 4. And I love this about, like, Germans. I would say Europeans. Well, no, I would say maybe Italians are an exception. But, like, Germans, you're not very dramatic.
Oh, okay. Don't say European.
Okay.
And don't just take the Italians out. They are more southern blood nations.
That's what I mean. Like, maybe the Italians are a bit more dramatic, but like...
And the Spanish, and the French.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Germans. I will point it to Germans. Germans are not very dramatic. And I have a very nice story to demonstrate this. So we were having dinner. Let me backtrack a little bit. So if you know a little bit of the Latin American culture, you know that we have these things called like the telenovelas, right? Like the soap operas where it's all about the passion.
You know, Germans also have soap operas, yeah?
Yeah, but I would say they're not like like telenovelas are like famous worldwide, right? Because they're like over dramatized. And I would say love in Latin America tends to be a little bit like that, right? It's very dramatic. It's very like, why? You know, it's very naggy. It's not all of it, obviously, but it's not uncommon. So we were having a party at a Latin American friend of ours, and they were like full of Latin Americans. And we were like speaking Spanish. Yvonne understands some Spanish. And during the conversation, this was in the first 6 months.
I was going to say at the very beginning when we started dating.
Yeah. So we didn't really know each other like that well, right? And during the conversation, back in the day, also my German was not that good. I would say it's not amazing now, but I understand a lot more and I can speak a little bit more. So my Latin American friends, they were asking me, so like now that you're dating a German, you're obviously gonna, you know, get more involved with learning German. You're gonna go to like a school or to get a class, you know, like join a course. And I was like, no. What do you mean no? Like you're gonna meet maybe the granny and the parents and they probably don't speak English. So how are you gonna go about that? Whenever that happens, we will see. But for now, like, I don't see the reason why I should, like, invest. I don't know. I was not very, like, pressured to learn German at the time. Yvonne was listening to the whole conversation. It was, like, a big discussion. Like, you know, you have to respect, like, Yvonne's culture and blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, Yvonne, like, gets up. She goes. She leaves. And it's been, like, 20 minutes and she doesn't come back. So this is how the Latin American mind works. All my friends started telling me, she's gonna like break up with you, man. Like she's gonna leave you because you just said now in public that you don't respect her culture. You don't want to learn her language. Like you don't care about what the family thinks of you and like blah, blah, blah. To the extent that I started to get like super worried, right? And I'm like, where's Yvonne? And everybody's like, I don't know. I haven't seen her. I think she left. What do you mean she left? And then I think I tried to call you or whatever and you didn't answer for some reason. And I'm looking for you in this house. And suddenly I like knock in the bathroom and you're like, yes. And I'm like, Conchita, that's how I call her. Like, Yvonne, are you there? Yeah. Are you okay? Yes.
Totally.
What are you doing? Oh, I'm just watching some Instagram videos because, you know, it was too much Spanish for me on the table and it was too much. Did you understand what we were talking about? Yeah. And are you okay? Yeah.
I was just, you know, I just needed a break from Latinoism. I'm totally fine.
Yeah, so like not dramatic at all. Oh, if it would have been like a Latino like partner, it would be like.
And then the best thing is when we walk back into the room together to the friends, they all looked at us like,
"Are you okay?" Like,
and I was just like, "Hey guys," and they're like,
"Are you okay? Like, do you feel okay? Like, do you need water? Do you want me to call someone?" It was so funny. So this shows too. I mean, I wouldn't say there's not. We talked about this the other day. Not because you're not dramatic doesn't mean there's no passion, right, in the relationship.
Very important, yes.
It's just that you're not very. I don't know, like emotionally draining in that sense, I would say.
Yeah. I would say I had 2 dramatic moments in like 6 years.
Yeah, of our relationship, yeah. And I had 1. So who's a Latino now? So that's pretty cool. Okay, thing number 5 on my list, and that has to do with the general like German culture, and that has to do with insurances. If you were going to date a German, you got to be prepared to have, like, I'm pretty sure, like, some Germans even come, like, with their documents to some dates and be like, these are the insurances that I got. Which ones do you have? You're going to end up talking about insurances. And if you don't have the right insurances, oh, their face can be disappointed.
Yeah. I'm not disappointed, more like shocked.
So when we first started dating, at this point, I didn't have what it's a very, very German insurance to have, which is the Haftpflichtversicherung.
Haftling?
How do you call it?
Haftpflichtversicherung.
There you go. And every German has this, right?
Yes. Well, let's say like 81%.
Okay, according to the statistics that we saw the other day, 81% of Germans have this. And when we first started dating, I had been in Germany for like 2 years or so, and I didn't have this insurance. And I don't know why. I'm telling you, it comes up in conversation. We talked about insurances, and I told her, "Oh, I don't have this. Like whatever." Like,
and I was like, "Wait, hold on, what?"
Yeah, and it was a big deal. And then here comes the speech of like why it's so important to have it in Germany. Like you definitely need to have this insurance. And then like the same speech that also my bank woman told me, like if you break something, you are liable in Germany, and you can get sued because what is the rule that you are liable for all the damages you cause to a third party, right?
Correct.
So if I would, the very simple example that I was told is like, imagine you're in a friend's house and then you sit on their glasses, you break them, you have to pay for them.
I mean, that, who cares? Like if you can pay the glasses yourself. But the moment where it becomes crucial to have it is when?
It's when you cause an accident by either maybe, or why are you looking at me like that?
No, keep talking.
Let's say I cross the red light and then this causes an accident with cars. I'm also liable for that, and I have to pay a big amount of money because then there are cars included. People, maybe they need to go to the hospital. They need some, right?
So the big chunk, the most important part is here the possible medical expenses that you're liable for. Because medical expenses, I mean, in Germany, they're not like in the US where just like, boom, you know, they just skyrocket. But they still are expensive. And obviously, depending on what happens, even if it was unintentional, it could be millions. And you're liable. So there is your life ruined.
So after this speech, what did I do the next day? I got myself some Haftpflichtversicherung.
By the way, you know, we have a whole article about that. Why, what, where, what. Where, what.
Yeah.
And which one, obviously. So have a look if you're interested. Or if you feel the need of it, better said.
So, yeah, okay. Okay, thing number 6 on my list, or if you're from Latin America, number 6, is that, I don't know if all Germans, but I have had a couple of, including some friends that we know, that you like to sleep with the window open.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Why? So it doesn't matter if it's like minus 20 degrees Celsius outside.
The window is open. It doesn't get that cold here.
But even if it would, when we've been skiing and it's minus 20, the window's still open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh air, fresh oxygen.
German
I mean, come on. When you sleep all night long in a room that is closed off, and then you wake up in the morning, go to the bathroom, you come back into your bedroom, isn't it totally sniffy and like just, like not fresh air? And then you've given your brain like that air for like 8 hours?
I don't know. I grew up all my life sleeping with the windows closed, and I think I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I think you're fine, but no, I want my open window.
And then to add to this, we have a friend who sleeps with the window open, and then she puts a scarf around her neck because just in case, I don't know why, to keep the throat warm.
Yeah.
Why? Like, which it adds to another level of complexity that I don't understand. But you know, I got used to sleeping with the window open. I might complain if it's really minus 20 degrees, and I'm like, okay, there's no point of this. So we can negotiate sometimes. And there are places, for example, like in Spain, where we've actually tried to sleep with the window open, but then we can't because the Spanish, if you don't know this, they love to party until really late.
Not even party, just talking.
And they talk a lot. And
loud.
So if you leave the window open and you're close to, like, if you're in an apartment that is close to the street, you will hear the Spanish yapping all the time. So there, I win, and we don't sleep with the window open. And number 7, the last one on my list, is that Germans love to plan things in advance.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're going to date one, you need to be prepared for this. Because a conversation might go like this. Hey, Jen, what are you doing in 4.5 months? Well, I don't know.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry, I have to call bull on that.
Why?
The conversation doesn't go like that.
Well, it does.
No, it's more like, okay, let's say, with my parents, for example, just as a very basic example, it's like, hey, when are we going to see each other again? Oh, let me look at my calendar. Oh, how about next weekend? No, already we have friends over. No, we are visiting friends there. No, because there is, I don't know what. And so it goes on and on until we find a date where we can both join. And look, if we wouldn't have done that, let's say that would be a month from now, and we wanted to spontaneously say, hey, let's meet up, that weekend would have probably been booked by someone else, so we could have never met.
Okay, that is one example. However, I can give you another example where a friend did actually ask, hey, what are you going to do summer next year? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, it's my birthday party, so you better book it in your calendar. I'm like, dude, it's summer next year.
Okay, so let's just not take friends examples. How about this? We talked about your birthday in another video, which you can see up here.
Yeah.
But how did we go about that? So her birthday is very close to Christmas. So she always whines, oh, I can never celebrate Christmas birthday on my... What? Oh, she always whines. I can never celebrate my birthday on my birthday because all my friends are already gone visiting their families. Oh, I don't know what.
That's my whiny voice, by the way. Yeah.
That's her whiny voice. Her whiny voice. Her whiny voice. Anyway, so long story short, I am absolutely against not just me, myself, and I, but me as Germans.
Me, myself,
we,
and
I, we are. God, I'm completely crazy here. We are against celebrating birthdays before your actual birthday.
Yes.
So Jen attempted that. I gave her a hard no. That is not even gonna happen. Especially like a weekend beforehand. No way. And she's like, yeah, but when am I gonna celebrate my birthday then? And we're talking about the 30th birthday, so you kind of want to have a bigger party about that. So I was like, well, the clear, obvious example and choice would be New Year's. Have a New Year's Eve party. Really? Oh, but people have their own plans on New Year's. I'm like, not if you invite them early enough. So
early enough. Okay, so we talked about this like maybe January of that year. And it was February, and Ivan's like, have you sent the invitation yet? No, like this is New Year's. You should send the invitation soon. So I kind of like stalled a bit. And then March, like you have to send the invitation now. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's like already prime time. It's like way too late already.
So I sent out the invitation. And in a matter of like a day, I got the response from all the Germans.
Oh, yeah.
Some saying like, thanks that you actually told me now because I was about to book my New Year's plans for this year.
Yep.
And no response from my Latino friends. Like none. And I'm talking like not only Latino, but like other cultures, right? Like also like Spanish and whatever. And then when I asked my friends...
Are you saying Spanish are not Latinos?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, maybe that's maybe not what it should say. Anyway, that's a different topic. But so anyways, any other friend that's not German that I invited to the party, no one replied. And when I asked them about it, they were like, oh, you are like for real? Like this is a thing that I should respond to? And I'm like, yes, please.
You know, I thought it was a joke.
Because I got a plan, apparently, what we're going to do. Oh, I thought you were just like joking. Like, dude, I don't know. I'll let you know like in November. I'm like, no, unfortunately that's too late. Can you tell me beforehand, please? So this is a German thing they have to get used to. Like Germans love planning things in advance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say not only dating, but also friends and everything as well.
Yeah, first of all, you have like a clear plan. Like, you know what you do when, and you have something to look forward to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love being spontaneous, and most often not spontaneous things tend to be the best. But you can't just always be spontaneous.
You got to plan in advance. So I hope this video has helped you if you are looking to date a German, or you just, you know, I hope you had some laughs with us. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And I guess like good luck to you dating some Germans out there.
Don't be scared though.
Yeah, they're very loving people. Until next time, cheers!